Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated to providing you with life strategies with a little bit of entrepreneur advice. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey everyone, welcome to the Networking with Michelle show. I'm your host, Michelle Gomez. Happy New Year! No, but welcome to 2018. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode with KG, Unleash Your Dopeness, and got all that excitement out, and you are on top of your resolutions, your goals, your themes, whatever you're calling 2018. I want you to remember one thing. As you unleash your dopeness, right? I want you to remember one thing. That's to be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. All the planning, all the mapping out, the processes, the strategy sessions. If you're a coach, you hired a coach, you're with a fitness trainer, whatever. Be patient with yourself. You are going to accomplish your short-term and your long-term goals, but you have to be patient with yourself and celebrate those wins. I can end it right here. I believe in you. No, but seriously, welcome to 2018. I want to thank you for rocking with me for another year going into this year. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you listening to the show each and every week or whenever I decide to release an episode. It means the world to me. Today, I am excited to bring you something brand spanking new. If you follow me on social media, you've probably been seeing it here and there. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm just so excited. This is something I've been sitting on as far as a book idea for the past 2, maybe 3 years. And this past November, December, I went to the drawing board and decided to recreate it into a different product and service. And it's called Time to Make Some Noise. Time to Make Some Noise. 7 steps to creating an influential personal brand. And if you go to michellgomez.com/noise-guide or click in the show notes, that link will take you to the download, free download, where I have listed those 7 steps. And I'm actually going to share that with you today. And one thing I've realized the past 4 years of figuring out this business stuff, people ask me all the time, Michelle, how do I start a podcast? How do I write a book? How do I get more speaking events? How do I get paid speaking events? And, I share the information, coffee, consultations, whatever the case may be. I'll try to share once you have my attention, I try to give you as much as possible. But it's becoming a good problem that I have, which is, how can I say it? I don't want to get too off topic, but I have a simple theory: time versus money, right? What do you have more of, time or money, et cetera, et cetera? I can't get to everyone, right? It takes a lot of effort to speak to someone online, on the phone, in person, regardless of the relationship, paid or not. It takes a lot of time. And then there's an influx of people, questions. You have one question, we have a conversation, at least several other questions, right? And what I decided to do is create this guide, right, to assist you the best way possible on just developing the personal brand. And then I've also started a group coaching, or I will start on February 3rd, which I'll go into more detail at the end. But the 7 steps to creating an influential personal brand. When I started my business, it was just business, DBA, LLC, website, and run with it. What I didn't realize, or I should say I began to realize once this personal brand phrase started catching on, was I was developing one without even knowing it. Because your personal brand is just your reputation, right? Let's cut all the bullshit. That's what it is, right? Before we get into graphics and marketing and da-da-da-da, it's really your reputation. What are people going to say about you when you're not in the room? And I'm grateful that people recognize my personal brand, but I want to really share with you what I've been doing over the past 4 years, and then solidifying this with when I decided to take a step back and really review everything. I looked at my little library and I was like, okay. I looked at all the personal brand books that I have, from Gary Vee to Mark Echo or Mark Jacobs, whomever, ebooks, physical books, whatever. I was like, what do these books have in common? What have I been working on that's in these books? And I laid out these 7 steps, and I really think they're going to help you if this is important to you. And at the same time, I want you to be open, right? Because I have the entrepreneurial thing, and I'm also working on personal brand on a corporate track and an entrepreneur track. So just think about what I'm saying and make sure you take the time to apply it to your situation, be it side hustler, small business owner, or corporate. Or maybe you're both, right? Maybe you're still corporate and you got the business thing that's common. And there's no hate for that, okay? So number 1, here we go. Time to make some noise. 7 steps to creating an influential personal brand. Number 1 is establish your core message. This is so important. Establish a core message. And the core message, think about, what do people know you for? Like, what do you do that people know what you do? Because a lot of people don't know what I do. I don't understand. But how do people know you, right? And then more importantly, what do you want to be known for? And this can be very, very tricky because a lot of us we're doing, like, got a corporate thing. We're doing one thing, but we want to do something totally different outside of corporate. And you got to figure out how you're going to minimize that information, that education, that transition to your various networks, right? And I remember for me in 2013, it was kind of tough because I have a degree in finance, worked in corporate finance for X amount of years, and I wanted to start this marketing business. A lot of people didn't know I was in grad school getting a degree in marketing. Wanted to start this marketing business, and once again, thinking, DBA, LLC, website clients, go. And a lot of people didn't see the correlation, not knowing that I had a marketing company several years ago when I was in my 20s. But once again, several years ago, new friends, new network. I already knew I could do it. It's just a matter of time. So I found myself, I didn't really share a lot of information at that time. So I don't want to say I found myself explaining stuff to people. But what happened was people kept coming up to me, asking me questions about networking. Michelle, how do I network? Michelle, how do you know so many people? How do I manage relationships? How do I follow up? How do I start a conversation? How do I exchange business cards? Do I follow via email? Do I follow up on social media? They were asking me all of these questions. And eventually I had an aha moment. And that's when I decided to write my book, Network, Navigate, and Nurture. I didn't know, it was easy. It made sense. It was the right thing to do. Okay. And it went from Michelle knowing a lot of people to Michelle being the networking guru, Michelle being the networking queen. Somehow networking became my core message. People know me for networking, relationship building, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm known for. And that's what I've decided to run with. So establish your core message. What do you want to be known for? What is that thing that you can talk about freely, that is a problem to other people, but you're able to provide them solutions? Can you provide solutions in your core message? Number 2, create a platform. All right. Talk about content. We are getting flooded with content, okay? And I was talking to a colleague and she was like, man, everyone has a radio show. I was like, no, everyone in our circle has a radio show. Okay. There's a lot of people, radio show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of people that are not creating content, not consistent with content. It's tough. You have to create a platform in order for you to share your content. So what's a platform? Platform is this, the podcast, right? The radio show, doing video on a consistent basis, maybe live stream on a consistent basis, having a blog. All of those are platforms because it's going to allow you to get your voice, your message out to people. What is your message? Your message is the content that you create that's going to provide solutions to people's problems. Boom, right there. Okay. That's why you have to have your core message first before you create this platform, or you're just going to be, on the microphone running your mouth like I'm doing now, right? No, but seriously, figure out what your core message is. Once you have that message, them talking points, those, 52 ideas, 52, because you can speak on one thing on a weekly basis. Boom, content calendar for a year, right? And then you'll have your platform to expose, to share that message to your audience. All right. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Number 3. Excuse me. Number 3, getting social with your story. Whew, this is important. Getting social with your story. It's getting good now, okay? Getting social with your story. Your story allows you to elaborate on your core message. Your story allows you to elaborate on your core message. This is so important, okay? Your core message is, I speak on networking. Michelle Gomez speaks on networking. What's the story behind networking? And there's several stories behind networking. One story, when I decided to go to grad school, I understood that I wasn't going to have the traditional graduate experience as far as going to a big university, being a full-time student for 2 years. Instead, I decided to do an online program, and I needed to find a way to create a network through this online program. And because of that, I decided to join professional organizations such as the National Black MBA Association, as well as the Houston Area Urban League Young Professionals, to build up my networking. Okay, story should be better than that. But that was my story. That's why I started networking. That's why I joined those organizations. Okay. What's another story when it comes to networking / relationships? Well, when I was younger, I moved around a lot. And it felt like there was a natural transition from elementary to junior high while I was growing up in Lubbock, Texas. And then I did my 1 year, 7th grade year, junior high, did that. And then I moved to Atlanta, right? Moved to Atlanta. Didn't know my dad that well. He was married. So I have a stepmom. Don't even know these people. So I'm in a new city, new family. Now I'm in a new school. Okay. Did 1 year at North Clayton Middle School, my 8th grade year. Then boom, finally get comfortable, another transition, going to high school. And not only, I don't go to the, I don't know what they call it, how they streamline everything. But we moved across town. So I wasn't even going to be with the same people I went to middle school with. Okay. So because of that, my friendships are important to me. My relationships are important to me. And that is the true story on why networking and relationship building is so important to me. Get social with your story. How can you Share things about yourself that's going to allow, you got to dig deep for this. Okay. You got to dig deep when it comes to these stories. Okay. And it takes time, it takes practice. Write it out, repeat, recite, especially when you start to incorporate your story into your speaking engagements. Okay. So get social, get social with your story. Right. And your story allows you to elaborate on your core message. All right, number 4. So we're talking about the story. A good story creates emotional impact. Create an emotional impact. I believe, like, I haven't mastered the thing of going viral, right? But I do believe, especially when it comes to videos that go viral, there's an emotional impact behind it, right? It's the laughing, it's the good deed, it's the crying. It's something that makes us feel good, right? Whether, once again, good, positivity, I'm hoping, laughter. Christmas just passed, Christmas and New Year's just passed. People are getting engaged, people falling down at the skating rink, people are dancing because they're happy. It's something, right? You got to create that emotional impact in your story. And this is so important, especially when you are talking about business, or let me say things that are more of substance. This is how people relate to you. Creating the emotional impact is how people relate to you. You never want to feel like you are too far removed from your audience. You want to relate to your audience at all times. And you do that by creating an emotional impact. Now, not every post is going to be all warm and fuzzy or something, right? But you want something that's like, hey, I'm human too. I don't have it all figured out. A couple of weeks ago, I did a post on fear of rejection, and I talked about how I applied to a conference 2 times, back-to-back years, and then the past 2 years, I don't know what happened. It's like I didn't forget, but I didn't apply or whatever. And I applied again, 3rd time's a charm, and I've got accepted, and they want me to do 2 speaking topics during their 3-day conference. But I created an emotional impact. Like, I was afraid, I was doing this, kept my head down low, kept working. Boom, now they want me. Okay. Create an emotional impact. It was sad, it was tough, but I came out winning. Oh, and another thing with emotional impact. Always show up as your authentic self. Always show up as your authentic self. That has to come out in your story, in your presentation, online or in person. Always show your authentic self. All right, number 5. Now, this is my favorite. I could be a little biased, but this is my favorite. I was working on, there's so many things I could have called this, but I feel like this was the most tangible one. And I'm calling it the Triad of influence. The Triad of influence. Because it's not just one thing. You need all of these things to work together for you for this to be successful. 1, relationships. Your relationships, I'm defining relationships as the people you can count on when you need to complete a task. When you need to send an email or a phone call and be like, hey, can you do this for me? And that person's like, I got you. I can connect you. Done. And you don't have to worry about time frame. You just know it's going to be done. That is your ace boon coon. No, but seriously, that's the relationship, right? That's the friendship. And I got to use this. I'm using these words very loosely, friendship, relationship, because every relationship's different. Like, I have my brother, Philip Yates, great dude, right? He's a guy I know with our relationship. If he calls, I answer, vice versa. It's much respect to him and his family, but straight to the point, right? It's not, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. You know how people call you, they like butter you up and then they go in for the kill? I'm kind of like just going for the kill, right? And he'll be like, hey, Michelle, I know it's short notice, but we need a speaker on Saturday. This is Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Okay, cool. Let me check my calendar. Oh, I'm free. Okay, cool. I'll be there. What time? Okay, cool. Got you. No hesitation, right? Because he has his organizations. I go in, I speak, he looks good, I do my thing, I look good. I'm like, hey, Philip, can I jump on that radio show? I got you. Task complete. No hesitation. Business relationships, friendships, whatever you want to call it. Your relationship is that person, in this case, when this comes to creating influence, is that person, those people you can count on when you need to complete a task. All right. Also, Triad of influence. Number 2, okay? Your audience. This is the masses that see and hear your message. These individuals see your posts through a mutual friend of your targeted ad. Excuse me. These individuals see your post through a mutual friend or your targeted ad. Okay? But they do not know who you are or what you do. So what do I mean by that? All right. So you know how LinkedIn and Facebook is. If you're tagged or you tag with other people, their friends are going to see it or whatever. Same thing with if they like your post, their friends will see it. It just depends on the social media settings. Okay. Of course, if you're running ads, you're probably running ads against certain demographics, other likable people. For me, for example, when I run an ad, it's usually I'm including people that like Gary Vee, they like Paul Brunson, they read Black Enterprise magazine, all that type of stuff. I'm that demographic. So I'm trying to reach those audiences as well. So they're probably seeing my picture, seeing my branding, my logo, videos, whatever you call it. I'm like, man, I'm seeing this name a lot. Michelle Gourmet has such a nice ring to it. Michelle Gourmet. Who is she? Okay. Seeing the name, seeing the face, but they do not necessarily know who I am or what I do at this point. Also, with the audience, it might be a speaking engagement, right? Go speak, a couple of people in the room, which is always good and comforting. But out of the room of 50, there's probably 40 people you don't know, which is great because you're trying to will in more people into your community. All right. So what is your community? It's number 3 of the Triad of influence. Your community, the people that receive and share your message. They know who you are and what you do. They look forward to your content and engage. Keep in mind, you have people in your community that you will not hear from, but are advocates of your message. You still have to serve them. All right. Your community. This is so important. Okay. The community is the people. I love people in my community. I have Shamika. I have Crystal. Have San Juan. The list goes on and on and on, right? These are people I know that they are sharing my message. They're buying my products. They're supporting me one way or another. Like, I don't even, I'm so grateful, so humbled anytime someone shares my post. I really am. Shout out to Sharon Scott. There's so many people. They just share my posts. They just share my podcast every week. They don't have to. And they do, right? Or they comment, or they send happy holiday messages. These are the people in your community that got your back. They're supporting you. And support can come in various forms, okay? Support doesn't always have to be about money. All right. Also, so then I felt like I had to get deep because just like church, you have people that sit all the way in the back. Okay. You don't know them. They get to church late. They leave church early. But you still have to deliver your message like it's your best message. Okay. You still have to serve those people, because when they go out, when they walk away and they say what church you go to, they're still going to mention the church, I hope, right? So same thing with you when it comes to delivering your content on your platform, right? What are you listening to? Oh, listen to the Networking with Michelle podcast. Oh, I just checked out this podcast episode. It's a good show, but this week she specifically had KG talking about unleash your dopeness, and it's a new year. And if you want to feel pumped, check out that episode, and I'm sure you'll like the others. You still have to serve people, because you just never know. You never know who's listening. You just don't. All right. So to me, that's the Triad of influence. I cannot wait to get into this more, because this, to me, number 5 is the most amazing part about creating an influential personal brand. I love it. I'm such a nerd. All right. Number 6. Excuse me. Number 6. All right. From connections to credibility. All right. Short, you got to get the media appearances, right? TV, radio, podcast. You got to have those appearances to solidify your expertise. I've been very fortunate. Actually, let me back up. When I wrote my book, Network Navigate, I thought I was going to reach out to a whole bunch of bloggers. They were going to feature me on their websites, and all was going to be well with the world. And I didn't have that luck. I actually stumbled into podcasting, and I was doing interviews. I did 1 or 2 interviews, and I was like, hey, got a feel for this. I kind of like it. And I just started focusing on podcasts. And then 2 people told me to start my podcast, and that's how I was able to create my platform. But yeah, and then from there, I've been fortunate to be on TV for other endeavors. I've been on radio for other endeavors or whatever, or for the book, whatever. All right. But and I say from connections to credibility, because there's a couple of things that go along with this, right? Depending on the size of the host audience, you probably need a connection to get that type of interview. All right. So that's one thing. If it's a smaller platform, you can just send out an email or whatever and reach out to them. It's hit or miss. Okay. On the flip side of that, when you do the interview, how are you connecting with people? So once again, this is so important, because once you do the interview, what is your core message? What story are you going to tell? Where are they going to get more to hear about you? That's why you need a platform. Okay. So from connections to credibility, back to connections. I love this stuff. Media appearances solidify your expertise. Okay. A solid interview allows you to connect with the audience, strengthen credibility. I feel like something got cut off there. But you need the media appearances. All right. And the last thing, number 7, show me the money. Show me the money. So you got the personal brand. Everything's on the up and up. How are you going to make money? How are you going to monetize? A lot of stuff you already know is the books, right? Everyone has a book. No, everyone in my circle that has a personal brand, they do a book, right? And I'm not saying what's right or wrong. It's just a stepping stone. Excuse me. Speaking engagements, right? Consulting, coaching, creating other digital products such as a course, doing classes, workshops, events, membership program, sponsorship. Do I have podcast sponsors? Affiliate marketing. How are you going to monetize your personal brand? And there's no right or wrong way to do that. And the key to monetization, there's so many keys, but it's really, understanding what is your unique selling point, right? What's making you different? Proposition, unique selling proposition. What's making you different to the people that you're targeting? And I say that whether it's the mass audience or maybe it's just that one event coordinator that you want to reach out to, right? So what's making you different? And then also being consistent, right? Show me the money. Let's talk about these revenue streams. Look, these are the 7 steps. These are the 7 steps to creating an influential personal brand. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've constantly figuring out. This is what I stumbled on. This is what I'm sharing with you. And I'm passionate about this. As you can see, I didn't even expect this episode to go this long, but here I am. This is definitely something I can talk about all day because it's so important. It is so important. And also be mindful, like even if you're in corporate, how can you apply this to you, right? And maybe the show me the money is not about creating all of these products and services, but how do you negotiate? You know, if you have these 6 steps as an individual, or you've been able to contribute these 6 steps into your company or into your department, show me the money. How are you going to negotiate that salary, that promotion, that raise? So, it's a different path for you, but think about how you can apply that to your current situation, right? Or maybe the show me the money part, those are your side hustles while you're still in corporate. So all of this good stuff. Yeah. All right. So time to make some noise. Group coaching. Time to make some noise. Group coaching. Excuse me. So look, I'm going to just be straight to the point. I'm looking for 14 people that are ready to make some noise. I'm looking for 14 people that are ready to make some noise. What do I mean by that? I mean the 7 steps that I just went through. Whether you're starting from 0 or you're starting from 10, or maybe you are at 75, where you are. 0 to 100 real quick. Y'all know I like Drake. All right, wherever you are, I want to work with you if you are serious about taking it up a notch, right? It's time to level up in 2018. I know a lot of people, like we just got over the holidays, a lot of people starting stuff, launching stuff in January. Mine is February 3rd. Starting on February 3rd to March 17th. We are going to spend 7 Saturday mornings together. Okay? Saturday morning. I haven't figured out the time, but somewhere between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to do a 1-hour coaching call where I'm going to walk you through all of this stuff. I'm going to elaborate on it. I'm going to take people's situations. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down as to, what does it take to have a core message? How are we going to construct the core message? How are we going to construct the core message in such a way that we have 3 stories, at least 3 stories that we can talk about, that we can create videos, we can share on social media, we can incorporate in our speaking engagements. Okay. Also, I'm going to do office hours. Okay. Office hours are available for targeted one-on-one coaching sessions. Okay. Right now, I'm still working out some details, but this is what I want to do. As we spend 7 Saturdays together, the office hours will be on Friday. 3 Fridays. So it's going to be like every other Friday. I'm going to open up the time frame. Don't know yet, but I'm going to make sure I have hours throughout the day. Open up the time. You can go in, you can schedule, and we can just shoot the breeze about whatever. And let me tell you why this is important, because I've done a lot of coaching from some great entrepreneurs, influencers within this digital marketing space. And what I realized is that when you do the group coaching, people are on different levels in their business, and everyone is not comfortable sharing certain aspects of their business within a group setting. And lots of times coaches don't talk about money because money's just a sensitive topic regardless. And it's not even about the money. I just realized people they don't want to share. Like, they're either too far ahead of the group, or, we've been in those groups where, once again, if we're going from 0 to 100, if you're starting at 0 where you don't even have a WordPress website, and you got someone in the group and they're like on 90, it's like, well, I made $5,000 this month. I'm really trying to figure out how I can make $10,000 each month for the next 12 months. And sometimes it can be offsetting in the group, right? Well, you got one person that's trying to get a website launched, figure out WordPress, and then you got someone that's trying to hit 6 figures, $10K a month. So this is what the one-on-one targeted coaching sessions are for. That way, if there's something that hasn't been covered or that you want to kind of keep private, you feel like you need some one-on-one help, we're going to spend an hour, at least one office hour, to discuss those things. And I haven't seen that before, y'all. A lot of coaches, when they do the office hours, it's a Q&A open for everyone. Going to have that too. But once again, the office hours targeted for one-on-one coaching sessions. You're also going to get a video recording of each session, whether this is the group and the one-on-one. Access to a private Slack and or Facebook group. Still debating on which one I want to do. I like Slack because it's private, intimate, kind of takes you away. Facebook is a distraction, but then again, everyone is on Facebook, right? So we'll see. I'll probably have both because I want to have it in such a way that my current participants are in Slack, and then once you finish the program, move over to Facebook. That's one way I'm thinking about it, but we'll see what happens. And of course, just the accountability piece, the accountability from me, from other people in the group, and access to resources that I have and hopefully others have that are willing to share. Now, this is everything. Look, I'm like this. When you purchase a consultation from me, or in this case, the group coaching, I'm giving you everything I have in my mind, my heart, my soul, my body. If I have an ebook on it, I'm giving it to you, right? If I have a physical book, I'm recommending it to you. Or I'm giving you access to every single thing I have. And I hate when people, they'll, like, oh, you get only this information for $99, right? But then you get all of this information for $1,000. Look, you buy into me. If you invest into me, you get everything out of me. Okay. Whether I'm sitting with you for an hour or I'm sitting with you for 10 hours, I'm giving you every single thing I have. All right. And I'm creating this resource center as we go along, whether it's podcasting, books, writing, speaking, templates. I'm giving how I send my emails, which has been, I get a lot of questions on that. Michelle, what do you say in these emails? Michelle, you reached out to this person, that person. I'm like, yeah, I just, email them. But what do you say in the email? I'm like, hey, how are you? I don't know, but I'm giving it to you all, what I say in the emails and everything. Okay. So if you're interested in the group coaching, this is what I need from you. You can go to michellegomez.com/noise. There's a form. I want you to fill this out because this isn't first come, first serve. Okay. I have everything listed that I went over. It's listed out. There's a form. I want you to fill this out because I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are, your personal brand is, and review it. Common stuff, name, website, social media links. What is your current occupation? Include hustles, organizations, projects, etc. Define your personal brand. Please be detailed as possible. What do you believe is holding you back from personal or career growth? What are your short and long-term goals of building a personal brand? And what would you like to accomplish from this program? Okay. So if these questions resonated with you, if this episode resonated with you, if this program resonated with you, go to the website, fill this out. Now, probably thinking, all right, Michelle, I hear this a lot. Da 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 da. How much does it cost? What does it cost? The Time to Make Some Noise group coaching program. It's an investment of $1,200, right? $1,200 with an option of a payment plan. Now, the payment plan is beneficial if you sign up early, right? It makes sense to do a payment plan if you sign up early. If you are more interested in one-on-one coaching, please send me an email to info@michellegourmet.com. Okay, info@michellegourmet.com. So this group coaching that starts on February 3rd and it runs through March 17th. And then I also have the option of one-on-one, which we'll jump on the phone and we'll talk about that. I'm going to be honest. 7 weeks, 7 Saturdays back to back. It seems very intense. Why am I doing it this way? Once again, I've done several programs, and short programs just scrape the surface. It just scrapes the surface. I did one program. I spent a couple $100 on it. This guy's a multimillionaire podcaster, New York Times bestselling author, on paper, great career. Spent a couple $100 on his program. And I was disappointed. It talked about how you need to make your bed every morning. It talked about setting up everything on auto pay. That way you don't have to worry about it. It talked about creating your daily schedule or something. Like, what do you want to do every minute of the day? Like creating the perfect day in 60-minute, and then I think eventually 10 to 30-minute increments. And that was a good exercise. Don't get me wrong. That one was a good one. But I felt like I paid too much information for this influencer, this thought leader, to tell me how I need to make my bed every morning, and how I need to set up everything on auto pay. Okay. I've spent thousands of dollars on the other end, right? And I say that within reason of, it was a great program. Meat and potatoes, right? Not milk, but meat and potatoes. That's what I love, right? Substance. But then I thought it was too long. I thought the program was too long, and I was ready to do other things with my time, other things with my money, things of that nature. So I have a feeling my program's going to be intense. 7 weeks, 7 Saturdays, right? I'll say dedicate at least 90 minutes, right? 60-minute sessions may go over a little bit, somewhere between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. I'm going to figure out the time based off of the demand. But yeah, but that 1 hour, every Saturday, office hours, you are going to have your personal brand shaped up. Okay. Also, a little bit more time if you're doing the exercises. If you're doing the work, you got to do the work. If you're working with Michelle Gourmet, you got to do the work. Okay. Because 2018, it's time to make some noise, baby. It's time to make some noise. Okay. Les Brown has this quote, you'll be known when it's time for you to be known. which I agree, I believe. But I also know 2018 is time to make some noise. And I want to make some noise with you. So once again, if you have any questions, you can go to the website, michellegomez.com. Everything's there. /noise for the group coaching information, /noise-guide for the download. You can always shoot me an email, info@michellegomez.com. You can catch me online, Instagram, DMs, right? Facebook Messenger, Twitter. I'm here to answer all of your questions. I really want to get all of this taken care of by the end of January. Taking 14 people, right? 14 people. And I want to close this out by January 30th, right? Which is a Tuesday. I want to close this out by January 30th. And then Saturday, February 3rd will be our first call. So if this is you, reach out to me. If you feel like this is beneficial to someone, maybe you want to do it with your friend, right? A business buddy. Reach out to them. Let them know what's going on, okay? And if you need me, I will jump on the phone, cell phone, Zoom. We can have a call. We can hash it out in a good way. Can answer all your questions. But this is it. This is really it. Time to make some noise. 7 steps to creating an influential personal brand. Remember, I believe in you, and a personal connection leads to an influential network. Thanks for networking with Michelle.